Hey guys, welcome to a new deck profile. This is going to be on Royal Paladin Stride. Now, I've been gone for 3 weeks, around that long. Sorry for not posting anything, but I had nothing to post actually, so I just decided to wait. This is Royal Paladin Stride, a deck that's not exactly finished, but really close to being finished. So I just thought I might as well just bring it to you guys because it's probably as good as this is probably as good as it'll ever get. So. Yeah, let me just talk about it for a second. Royal Paladin Stride, I'll just say it right now, I don't find these to be as competitive or as good as they could be, because with Shadow Paladin Stride roaming around Japan, with Narukami being decently dangerous, with Link Joker Messiah being one of the biggest problems that I see, I think that this deck is being outshined a lot, and I think they do need more support. But for now, this is what they have and what you're able to build with it. So let's just go over the deck list first. So, starter, you're running Shining Knight Milius. He's really the only starter you can run that's good for this type of build, because he, for the price of counter mass 1, just lets you call it grade 2, which is really good, considering this deck's grade 2s are very important, and he helps you just call any of them for the price of counter mass 1. So, I would pick him over any Royal Paladin starter currently in the entire game. Grade 3s, you're running 3 Blue Sky Knight Alt Mile, and I have assigned one. They're all shiny, they're not commons at all, so that's cool. 3 Alt Mile because there's really nothing to run. If you're running Royal Paladin Stride, the pure Stride build, not Think Saver, you're running Alt Mile. Because Atmao, super consistent in power boost. Generation Break's really good, just giving power to the entire front row. And his on-stride skill really just pressures the opponent into guarding, and they have to block against higher numbers. So, 4 Atmao. Next, 1 Splitting Seeker Brutus. This is actually supposed to be a Wingull Brave. I mean, not Wingull Brave, my bad. It's supposed to be a Seeker Sacred Wingull, the Wingull Legion. So this is supposed to be that. Currently this is incorrect. But the Legion's here so that I can put back triggers, that's really it. I usually never use it, but one Jewel Knight Ashley, because Jewel Knight Ashley, if you are stuck with Ashley for whatever reason, and you have Generation Break 2, because of whatever reason, you can Break Ride All Mile on top of Ashley, and that can probably already win you the game, because a Vanguard that gained 15,000 power, and a front row that gained 5,000 each, and a critical on the Vanguard, that's a pretty dangerous combo. So I think that can be a really good combination. So 1 Knight of Great Spirit. I know you usually want to play more than 1 copy. I mainly use him for the first skill, which is Counter Blast 2, and choose 2 units and they gain 5k. That's kind of like Op Miles effect. But this is kind of downgraded because he has a Counter Blast 2, which is really heavy, believe it or not. Next, the final grade 3 is Knight of Militaristic Knight Marinus. Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, you can call it grade 2. Soul Blast 1, when this unit is placed on Vanguard, you can pay the cost of your due, call a unit, and you can use 5k. Now, honestly, I would play 4 of him over every other random grade 3 I have right now, because he's just really consistent. And I don't find these as good as him, so just run 4 of him if you can. I don't have 4, so I just run the one I have. Really, just okay. The thing is, if you're forced to ride any of these 4, it might get a bit more challenging. But usually, just ride Alt Mile. So that's the grade 3s. Really standard, like 95% of the time you're gonna ride Alt Mile, so don't worry. Grade 2s, some people might disagree with my grade 2 lineup, but I play 4 Knight of Fragment, or Fragment. His skill is a Generation Break 1. During the turn, if you have 2 or more face-up grade 2s, 2 or more grade 2s, this unit gets 2,000 power, and it gets the skill basically when it hits, unflip 1 damage and soul charge 1. The soul charge is mandatory, so you have to do it if you want to unflip. He's really nice because I enjoy unflipping damage, and he can hit for 11k. So this kind of replaces my 12k attackers, but I still run them because this is not going to be 11 all the time, but like 80% of the time this is going to be 11k. So 4 of him's really good because I can afford to ride one or retire one and still have a lot to work with. So 4. I like running him at 4. I might cut him down to 3, but I still like playing more of him. 3 Knight of Twin Sword. I actually had to cut this thing and not Fragment because Twin Sword was really counterblast heavy when I played him at 4. Or when I tried to, at least. Knight of Twin Sword is really just generic. When he's boosted by grade 1, when he's boosted at all, counterblast 1, search for grade 2 and call it. So I can pull off a loop with him where I do 5 attacks a turn. I can pull off a loop with him and something else. But that topic deserves an entire video for itself. So comment below if you want that. But Knight of Twin Sword. 2 12k hitters to Generation Break 1. 12k attackers. You never actually want to call this thing until you're at GB1, so 2 is fine. I might bump it up to 3 and take out 1 Knight of Fragment, but that's really it. I don't want to play 4 because Fragment's still there as an option. So, just 2. Then 1 copy of Knight of Refinement Benzo, or however you pronounce it. I'm going to butcher these names. Benzo's skill is surprisingly really good. New card from set 2. Generation Break 1, Counterless 1, Soulless 1. When this unit is placed on rear guard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Mile in his name, you can pay the cost. If you do, search deck for 1 grade 2, not himself, and call it to rear guard and against 2k. What's good is that you can call any grade 2 I have, or any grade 2 in the deck, and it'll still be able to hit a Vanguard. So, what I like to do is I like to use Benzel to call Fragment, and that way Fragment's automatically 11 because you have 2 grade 2s. And he counts also, so this is an instant 11k plus a 2, so this is 13, so I can hit cross rides, and it can help you on flip if it hits. So, really good combination with these 2. Benzel, I'll probably bump him up to 2 and take out another Fragment, because I like playing him at 2 or 3. I don't find 4 is good, because I don't think there's room in here for 4, but Benzel's really nice, and I just enjoy playing him. And the only problem is, if you don't have an Mile Vanguard, then you're kind of screwed. So with this deck, pull off if you ride Mile, then you're pretty much all set for your combos. Then lastly, 1 copy of Combined Strength Seeker Locrinus. He's really here for Legion, nothing else. If I had to take him out, I'd put in another one of him or another one of him. So that's grade 2s. There are 11. I actually thought about bumping the grade 2s up to 12 once, because in a game I tested this deck out in, I actually ran out of grade 2s because I spammed them so quickly. I actually was winning, but I realized I ran out of grade 2s, so that was kind of bad. But the grade 1s are really important, and that is 3 Knight of Shield Bash. Now, he's only a 9k attacker, but the reason I play him over the 10k K-Clone is because he can hit for 9 early game, which is good because the new 10k attackers require Generation Break 1, so it has to be late game. This guy can hit for 9k early game, so for 2 turns he can be a 9k beater. And also, even if your opponent's at grade 3, just call a booster behind it, it can hit for 16 minimum, so it's really not a bad card. This thing can still hit 11k Vanguards for 10k guard, so I really do enjoy playing Knight of Shield Bash. If I had to make room, then he would probably come out for probably Jewel Knight something. I don't like the Jewel Knight engine. I know Prismy is really consistent. No, I mean, not Prismy, Sword Me. I know the Jewel Knight Sword Me is really consistent, but I just don't like that build, even though it's really good. So, just 3 Knight of Shield Bash. He's probably going to stay in here forever, so just like him a lot. This is what I'm taking out once I get my stuff. But this is 3 Lake Maiden Lien. Lien's skill is really kind of obvious. She was in set 1. Her skill is basically the Gojo clone. You can rest her, discard a card to draw one. She's not supposed to be here. She's she's a replacement for Royal Paladin AK Vanillas. I'm trying to get AK Vanillas because the AK Vanillas combined with 12k and 11k attackers, they can hit for 20 and 19, which are pretty good because they can hit cross rides then. But Lien can still help hitting cross rides, but I just don't like her because I usually don't use her skill. And if I ride her turn 1, I use her skill, I usually don't even need to use her skill. So I'd rather ride an AK Vanilla turn 1 and have that protective AK base than this thing. So she's supposed to be a AK Vanilla. These 3 are replacements, but they've been working out decently fine because I usually just call them as boosters. 4 of the Outmile Searcher, Laurel Knight Silicus. He's really good, like one of the MVPs of the deck. He's really consistent because he helps you get your Outmiles, and this is why he's so good, because he helps you get the Outmiles. Because if it wasn't for him, and if you don't ride Outmile and you don't use the skill, then Benzel would be dead. So thank him for making Benzel useful. Also, when you ditch him for Stride, he's a grade 3. So in case you don't have any other grade 3s to discard, drop him and you can get a Stride off. So really consistent card. Yeah, you do have to play 4 because it's just really consistent, really good. Lastly, 4 Perfect Guards, Rainbow Guardian. If you could, get the new G Perfect Guard, because, I mean, the X isn't relevant anymore. At least I don't think so. So just get the new G Perfect Guard. Because Royal Paladins are kind of less heavy, so you might want to just unflip damage. Triggers. I'm trying to go through this fast because it's at 11 minutes right now. Triggers. 4 Night of Flash. The glare is really bad. Sorry about that. 3 copies of Burning Main Lion. 1 Seeker trigger. Alabaster Owl. And oops, I dropped it. Knight of Dreams Bellinus. Bellinus' skill, I'll go over really quickly. Put it into the soul when your Vanguard with Outmile. If your grade 3 Vanguard with Outmile on his name is your Vanguard, blah blah blah. Put it into soul. Draw a card, and your Vanguard gains 5k when it attacks. So if you can, play 4 of him because he's really nice. I usually don't use him though, so don't have 4 anyways. So 10 crits. Reason for 10 crits is that when you triple drive with this deck, you really want the crits to just stack on your other rear guards so that they hit for higher numbers. Because in this deck, the rear guards hit for decently high numbers, and so does your Vanguard. Your Vanguard hits for really high. So the crits really just pressure your opponent into guarding, or else they take double crits. They take a double critical to the face. Next, 2 Margle. Only need 2 Margle. I don't like Margle that much because I don't Soul Blast. I don't really use Soul Blast in this deck, so 2 Margles is enough. I don't even use him that much often. I don't use Margle often, but you know he's there for the option, and draw triggers are not bad. Then 4 heal, just because you need to play 4 heal, just 4 heal, 4 heals. Next for the G Zone, plain and simple G Zone. G Zone 3 Shrouded Divine Knight Galblade. The reason you play Galblade is because he's really good. I like him because he does what Royal Paladin's supposed to do, and that's superior calling. The thing I don't like about Galblade, however, is that he calls grade 2 and above. Why would you call a grade 3 when you can use it for strike? That's my question. There are a lot of times where I wish Galblade could just call a grade 1 so I could boost something, like my Knight of Twin Sword. But in general, Galblade's just really good. You only use him early game. Late game, he's kind of dead. So only 3, you don't need 4. I've considered taking 1 out for Knight of Flashing Flame Samuel. But Samuel's really kind of less heavy, and you'll probably only ever need 1. So there's the option for that. But I don't have Samuel, so whatever. Then 4 copies of Holy Dragon, Saint Blow Dragon. This is my first complete deck profile, because I have 8 strides. For Saint Blow, he is really a really good card. I'll just let you read his effect because I don't want to say it. So you can read the skill right there. Same blow is really nice because he gains a crit. Now this guy can be stopped easily by perfect guards, but if your opponent doesn't have a perfect guard and they can't block a 50-something attack, he's gonna kill the opponent in one hit. Same blow is the same deal with Ragnarok. If your opponent has a perfect guard, they can stop this. If they don't have a perfect guard, they're most likely dead. So him and Ragnarok, sort of similar, but same blow is kind of different because he gains like a lot of power. So same blow is a win condition. Combined with Op Mile, he's a dangerous card. Then lastly, one Snow Elemental Blizza. I chose him over Atmos, Miracle Element Atmos, because Blizza can go higher than Atmos. His skill is kind of +1. Unflip a card from the G zone. He gains 5,000 for each unit unflipped. So if you have a full G zone unflipped, he gains a total of 35,000, which is incredible. So 35,000 on top of a 26,000 base. That is 50. I think that's around 50 something. I don't know. My math's not good, but he goes for really high numbers, and I do like Blizza. So yeah, that's the Stride Zone. Really standard. Same blows are win condition, but then again, he gets stopped really easily. So that's the only issue I have. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. Rate, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I probably won't post something for a really long time again because there's really nothing I have to post about. So thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. And this is probably a really long video, but hope you guys watched all the way through. So bye.